Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? So, Bethesda have just released the new content roadmap for 2019 this afternoon, and to be fair, I'm fairly excited. There's some interesting stuff coming up, which I'm very, very ready for. So, let's have a look, shall we? So, Fallout 76, 100 days roadmap for 2019. So, we've just passed 100 days since the launch of Fallout 76. Feels like that went quick. Or maybe it didn't, I'm not sure. There's nothing like the start of something new for you and for us, and having millions of you join us on this new adventure is humbling for our studio. Thank you for sticking with us as we figure this online experience out together, and we do mean together. Yeah, that would be a fair comment. Definitely a team effort between the players and the studio on that one. Thanks to your continuous feedback, we have been able to fix many of the top issues and have made numerous improvements to the game. Very true. We have made scores of changes under the hood that aren't as visible as well. These include changes to improve performance, detect new exploits, and to make the experience smoother for everyone. Yeah, the game is definitely running better than it was at launch, so there's still work to do, but we're happy to report game server stability has increased over 300% since launch. We're thrilled by how much everyone is playing, with an average of 4 hours a day. Not bad. 300% since launch is kind of a meaningless number to anybody outside of the technical side of that, I suppose, but however, we know that the game had a difficult launch, and we've made mistakes along the way. We share in your frustrations when we do. We'll probably make a few more, and when we do, we will work to correct them as quickly as possible. Know that we're fully dedicated to making this game the best it can be, and even more so, a platform for endless adventures in Fallout for years to come. Cool. So, at least they're open about their mistakes. It'd be kind of hard to deny it, I suppose, but yeah, at least they're being straight about that. So, to that end, we're excited to announce some of the new free content we've been working on for Fallout 76 in 2019. Thanks again for sticking with us. It's a privilege to have such passionate and caring fans. We have big plans for 2019 and love to hear your continued feedback on everything we're doing. We hope you'll keep sharing your thoughts with us on the forums, Reddit, in videos and streams. Oh, that's cool, they're watching videos as well. Hi! Your voices push us to do better, and your support meant everything to us. We'll do our best to earn it. Cool. So, we have a couple of graphics for what's coming up. 2019 roadmap one here. I'll throw a larger one up on the screen. So we've got Wild Appalachia, that's the first thing coming. It's got new quests, new game mode, features and more. And then it's going to be followed in the summer by Nuclear Winter, which is an all-new game mode. Interested to see how that's going to pan out. That could be potentially very interesting, something very new that we've not seen in Fallout, hopefully. And Wastelanders, which is fall. All new main quest, events, features and more. Cool. So we've got a bit more detail down below. We've got new quests, new survival mode, new features, new mode Nuclear Winter, high-level vault raids, new features, and then some grayed out options. New main quest, new events and new features. I'm not sure why those are grayed out. Possibly they're more vague at this current stage, but sort of implies what they're covering under each heading there. So we've got, in the next few months, we've got new quests, new survival mode, new features to look forward to. Then over the course of the summer, Nuclear Winter mode, high-level vault raids, which we'll get into in a bit more detail in a sec, new features, and then a new main quest, new events, and new features again in the autumn. So, first one coming out this spring, Wild Appalachia. So there's quite a bit more detail in the graphic here, which I'll throw up a larger version so you guys can see it, but I can't read all the ins and outs of that right now. So, a mythical beast, a lost generation of scouts, and the strongest brew this side of the wasteland. Welcome to Wild Appalachia, a series of new quests, features, events, and crafting systems, and more starting on March 12th, so we have a date, and appearing over several weeks. So yeah, mid-March is about when the first DLCs for Fallout 4 dropped, so it's roughly the same schedule, given some of the issues they had with those. Things like Far Harbor's performance was iffy, shall we say. It's probably a good thing that they've not rushed it out any sooner. Wild Appalachia includes new quests, Sheer Terror, Uncover the cryptid secrets of Appalachia in a new series of quests and encounters to separate monsters from myths. So a big focus on things like Mothman, Wendigos, Grafton monster, hopefully the Flatwoods monster as well, because I've seen it a couple of times, but we don't seem to know a great deal about it, other than purple glowy alien looking thing. So that could be interesting. We're going to be exploring that in more detail. New quests, Ever Upwards, a journey to the deepest reaches of the woods with new stories for the legendary Pioneer Scouts. So you come across those at some scout camps in the woods, and it's references to a lost, potentially a faction from the sound of this, in which you can earn merit badges, climb the ranks, and earn a customizable backpack for increased utility. It makes me think increased carry weight, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be craftable, moddable. It'll have expansions, things like that, and you'll be able to carry more. That's quite cool. Certainly in keeping with the style of game and the location it's set in, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. New features, legendary vendor and scrapping. Something we can't deal with at the moment. We can only sell unwanted legendaries, we can't scrap them. So, locate the mysterious purveyor to exchange and scrap your unwanted legendary items for new legendary gear. So, hang on to anything you don't want from here on outwards from the sound of it. For every star rating on a legendary item you scrap, you increase the chances you'll get the legendary weapon or armor of your dreams. So the more powerful the items you trade in, from the sound of it, the more powerful the ones you'll get back out, or up your odds of it. Sounds like there could be some frustration in that, I think, potentially, if it's still relatively RNG based. But it'd be interesting to see how that actually works out. If you turn in a 3-starred item and get a 1 back, I think most people will be quite peeved about that. So I'm hoping they won't allow for that to happen, but what I'd imagine they'll do is if you put a 3-star in, you get 3 stars out, but it's the actual mods that are on it that are randomised. I hope that's the way they go. I would not want to see the alternative. So, new features, camp decorating, hell yes. Player vending, which is looking quite interesting actually, and functional camera, which is something I want to know more about. Use items from your stash to decorate your camp. If this just turns out to be straight up junk decoration, I'd be quite happy with that. That'd be a big improvement. I'd love to be able to put more detail and more life into my build, so that'd be cool. I don't imagine it'll be quite that. I imagine there'll be a bit more to it, but because they have said the reason they haven't done it so far is because putting extra items into people's camp builds, like desk fans and whatever else, is likely to increase the strain on the servers, and they want to avoid that. So I'm hoping this means they found a workaround for that, but it sounds like you'll have to have the item in your stash in order to build it, from the sound of this. So again, we'll have to see how that actually pans out next month. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. It's something we've been clamouring for, I think, those of us who are into building, so very, very cool. Build vending machines and flag items for sale. So that's how they're going to work player vending. You just simply build a vending machine at your camp, much like you'll see around train stations and other places around the map, and you put in whatever you want to sell and set the price yourself, which is interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that affects the in-game economy. I don't know if they'll restrict that to some degree, or if you'll be able to do what you like and people just say, well, that's absurd, I'm not paying that. It'll probably mean people will be getting bargains, at least I hope so. That'd be the sensible way to go if you actually want people to spend their caps on your stuff. But in short, put the vending machine in place, put your stuff in it, and the vending machine does all the work. You just count the caps, which is awesome. It does mean you probably have to put your camp somewhere more on the beaten path and well, get more visitors, in short. That also kind of opens you up to being found more easily and griefed, which is a slight drawback. But it's cool. Continue your adventures in Appalachia, being sure to capture all your favourite moments using the new functional camera. I'm not sure if this means you're actually going to have a camera item, but what I'm really hoping for personally is that you'll be able to move the camera around more, and preferably further away from the character. Give you a bigger sort of range of movement. That's something I really want. Making video content in particular, that would be absolutely fantastic. The range of a movement at the moment is a little limiting. What I really like doing is getting like wide sweeping shots of things like camp builds or whatever. As it goes at the moment, it gives you really nice footage, really smooth movement, but you only get about 2-3 seconds of it tops before you hit the opposite end of the area you can move the camera, so hopefully that'll be something they include, a bigger range of movement. Something I've only really noticed recently since I've started playing with it a bit more, but cool. So, new features, brewing and distilling. Go on a new quest to discover the secrets of forbidden brew, Xion, and bring the party back to your camp with new brewing and distilling systems and recipes. So it sounds like we're getting a new crafting station to brew alcohol and other things, potentially, with interesting buffs available. Hopefully we don't wind up with the old massive duplication issue, or the same thing without the duping, but you know, we'll see how that pans out. New seasonal event, which sounds interesting, Fastnacht Parade. Chase away Old Man Winter and quicken the coming of spring with the ancient festival of Fastnacht. Join the celebration and complete this new limited time event to earn unique rewards in the form of festive Fastnacht masks. So there's only one in the game at the moment, which I found in Fort Defiance, the former asylum, which is creepy as hell, but I have seen pictures of some really cool alternative ones knocking around. So if they're adding those in and we can get them through this event, that'll be very cool. Some interesting possibilities coming up there. And we're seeing a lot of people running around looking all manner of weird, which should be fun. And new game mode, survival. All new game mode, bringing higher stakes PvP experience with fewer restrictions, increased rewards, new challenges, plus all the original content of adventure mode. So that we already knew about. So this is the big stuff that's coming this spring. A lot of new quests, new faction, new things to explore. Sounds like it's going to be focused on the forest region. Don't know if they're going to expand that any. It'd be nice if they did, but I'm guessing probably not. Doesn't sound like they will. We've got the Fastnacht Parade event, looks cool, and the changes to camp and the camera look great fun as well. They look particularly interesting to me. And hopefully they'll be making legendary weapons a bit more viable and a bit more interesting, and yeah, easier to get something you actually want, which is cool. Because, to be honest, I've found naff all I want so far. So, coming out in the summer, Nuclear Winter, ironically. Which sounds very interesting. If that basically does what I think it might, the idea of playing Fallout in a nuclear winter setting would be really cool. So, summer will bring another series of major updates to Fallout 76, including Nuclear Winter, an entirely new way to play that changes the rules of the Wasteland, rather. New game mode, so it sounds like you probably have to pick this from the main menu, which is probably the best way of doing that, to be fair. Which probably also means a new character, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. If they can port existing characters to the survival mode, they'd probably do it with Nuclear Winter, so possibly not. That would be cool. Entirely new way to play, completely changing the rules. So that's vague, but they're focusing on Wild Appalachia first, so that's understandable. New Vault raids, Vault 96 and 94 opening. For our most seasoned players, test your strength in all new high-level group Vault raids. Now this, I have mixed feelings on. Getting to explore the vaults will be very cool, and the fact that their high-level content is also very cool. I'm sure there's a lot of us ready for that. The group emphasis, I'm hoping, will be consistent with what they've done so far. Theoretically, things like Scorch Beasts and stuff like that should be group-based content and should be really difficult on your own. They're not easy, but they are manageable for a high enough level solo player. I'm hoping the same will be true of these Vault raids. Hopefully they'll be a bit more difficult again, because that's what they're geared towards. That's fine, I'm cool with that. Challenging content is definitely something I'm up for seeing in the game. So my concern is that they might go down the road of making it group only, and you can't get in there unless you're already in a group. And that would be extremely annoying. There's plenty of us, I know, who tend to spend most of our time on our own. I am actually planning on doing a bit more multiplayer in future, but if this is restricted to solely groups, I would be quite peeved about that. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, but of course there are ways around it, I suppose. So, new feature, Legendary Players. This one does look interesting. All new prestige system, which will allow players above level 50 to become legendary, resetting their characters with all new, more powerful abilities. Not sure how it's going to pan out, but it sounds like it'll involve wiping your character's progress in some way, which is iffy. but setting up to rebuild with far more powerful abilities, which is cool. Not sure how that will balance with the PvP. I'm guessing if you go down that road, they'll prevent you from engaging in PvP with people who haven't yet got that far. That would be the sensible thing to do, because otherwise it's going to be horribly imbalanced. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they have for high-level players in the future. And finally, Wastelanders, releasing in the autumn. Embark on a tale with true choice and consequences in Wastelanders, our biggest and most ambitious update for Fallout 76. Wastelanders will include a new main quest line, new factions, new events, new features, and even more surprises. So, no details there yet, but the idea of more detailed choice and consequence in the game is something I think a lot of us would be interested to see how that works. As it stands, obviously, because of the way things are set up at the moment, with the lack of NPCs and things like that, what you do ultimately doesn't have any impact on the game or your experience of it at all. Doesn't matter whether you play nice or nasty, it's only your interaction with other people that varies. So, seeing how this will pan out is something I'm very curious about. So as we can see up at the top here, I'm guessing this is the new backpack that's coming in, or one of the new backpacks coming in Wild Appalachia. Interesting idea. Looks like a sack truck with some straps attached to it and a crate. That's quite an interesting creative solution. Not sure it's the way I'd have gone. It looks horribly uncomfortable, but on the other hand, it's different. But yeah, some really cool new ideas and content in there, stuff that I'm really looking forward to finding out more about, getting sunk into. It'd be cool to explore new things. And some interesting stuff, if a little more vague at this stage, coming up over the summer. We'll hopefully hear more once the next couple of months tick by. And of course, it's one thing at a time as well, so yeah, some very cool stuff. I'm very interested to see what they've got for us. Very, very excited about this. So, I hope you guys found that interesting and informative. If you did, you know what to do by now. Social media links should be popping up, and they're down in the description as well. And do keep your eyes out for the live streams as well. Should be coming up on Sunday night and later in the week afterwards. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will be speaking to you all very, very soon.